So it's now been over a week since Alexander Usyk's big rematch win over Tyson Fury. And yes, there was a lot going on with Frank Warren, and it's only now I'm actually talking about it. But he really did embarrass himself in the aftermath to Alexander Usyk's win over his man Tyson Fury. And, you know, I get the emotions are involved for him, and I get that he's upset about the result. But what he was saying and how he was acting about it, I think is really, really, really weird, really strange, pretty funny as well, to be completely honest. Let's get right on to this first video now then. And as we can tell, Frank Warren's got the scorecard. You know, he was in the ring with it, literally showing everyone he could possibly find, showing it to everyone. And once again, here in this interview, he's got it again, keeps on going through it, waving it about, honestly. He's becoming a bit of a meme after all of this, to be completely honest.
Left the ring because of it. Yeah. Well, I showed it to him. I'm dumbfounded. They gave him 4 rounds out of 12 rounds, which is impossible.
It's completely fair. 116 to 112 is completely fair in Alexander Usyk's favor. And, you know, all 3 judges had it. A lot of people have it. A lot of Xboxers had it that way as well. And, you know, look, if they gave Fury one more round, and there was the odd close round in there, if they gave him one more round, it would have been 7-5 anyway. Or if they gave 1 round a draw, you know, it would have been 7 rounds to 4 with 1 draw. So with 1 round as a draw. So it's like
possible. I mean, I've been around a long time, and I know I'm biased, but
exactly, he knows he's biased, and he's being biased right now in this video. He's being biased.
One judge didn't give him any round from round 6 onwards. Not 1 round, look.
I'm not going to lie, though. As the fight got later and later and later, as the fight went on, Alexander Usyk was getting better and better and better as the fight was going. I mean, you know, and there were close rounds in there as well. So it's like, I don't get where all the massive complaining is coming on. We got the right winner, and the scorecards were completely fine, if we're being honest.
How can that be? That's impossible. And the same with the other judge here. They give him 1 round.
It's not impossible at all. So I tell you what is impossible. This is what is impossible. Let's quickly have a look at this. I mean, Frank Warren erupts at Usyk versus Fury 2 scoring, insisting Tyson Fury won by 3 rounds. That is what is impossible. That is what is impossible. There is no way that you can have Tyson Fury winning that fight by 3 rounds. That's the thing which is impossible. Like, I don't know what Frank Warren was watching in that fight, but I honestly feel like, you know, and many people have said it as well, if you had Tyson Fury winning that fight, you need to give your head a bit of a wobble or watch it back with no commentary, because that is something that was biased. Obviously, you know, Frank Warren is, you know, he's a Fury man, so obviously, you know, there's going to be biased anyway, but, you know, people need to watch the fight back with no commentary. Usyk was always being able to get the better of most of those exchanges throughout that fight, especially as the fight went on late in the later stages. So, yeah. Anyway, let's also have let's go back to this quickly as well. Let's see what Frank's got to say.
Is a nonsense.
He's not calm and collected at all. I just feel like he's going on a bit too much in these videos. I just feel like he's talking a bit too much.
Along that front row there, including, and their faces were long as kites, the management of Usyk, and everybody along the front had him win. Oscar De La Hoya.
That's not true. He said the management of Alexander Usyk were unsure. I mean, they weren't. And you know, this is also something that completely exposes what Frank Warren just said, because he digs himself into an even bigger hole here.
Had him winning by 3-4 rounds.
Hang on.
And everybody along the front had him winning. Oscar De La Hoya and I had him winning by 3-4 rounds.
Oscar De La Hoya and I had him winning by 3 or 4 rounds. Sure about that, Frank? Because I don't think that was the case.
To keep up with fights updates.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Why is that?
There you go. That's the plug. How did you score the fight? We've just seen Alexander Usyk got a unanimous decision by 2 rounds.
I think Usyk pulled it off in the second half of the fight.
But I thought Frank said he had him winning by 3 or 4 rounds. That don't really make much sense. Oscar De La Hoya said Usyk pulled off in the second half of the fight. So, there was no complaining about the scorecards from Oscar De La Hoya. He pulled off in the second half of the fight. So what's Frank Warren crying about? With the whole scorecards waving them around. That doesn't really make much sense.
Comes out strong in the second half of the fight.
Exactly. So I don't know why Frank Warren's waving the scorecards around, bringing Oscar De La Hoya into the conversation, saying that it's impossible. I don't get it. It's a really strange one from Frank Warren, but I just feel like he's digging himself into a bit of a hole here, saying that Usyk's team were unsure. But I saw an interview with Usyk's manager, Alexander Krasic, saying that he was discussing whether Usyk was up by, I think, 2 or 3 rounds or something like that. Like they were discussing really how much Usyk was actually up by. But Frank Warren's completely twisted the narrative, and Usyk won the fight. And how many rounds was Usyk up by? And that, I think that should be the discussion instead of the whole robbery stuff going around. How many rounds did Usyk win by? Because Usyk won the fight. It's impossible to have Tyson Fury winning that fight, to be completely honest, especially if you probably end up watching it back with no commentary. And I was watching it with no commentary because we were doing, me and my brother doing the watch along, and Usyk won the fight. And we had the exact same scoring as the judges. Basically, we had 116 to 113 or 116 to 112, and that's the same as many other people as well, other YouTubers online and other former and current pro boxers as well. So I just think the whole thing, with Frank Warren's delusion and denial about Tyson Fury isn't what Frank Warren's always been bigging up to be. He's not unbeatable. And that's a hard pill for Frank Warren to take. But, look, he's got many other heavyweights as well. He's got a big fight between Dubois and Parker, who he both promotes. So, there you go. But look, it's not good for Frank Warren. Wasn't a good night for him, and everything that he was saying as well. You can kind of get another answer for it about, him saying that Usyk's team were unsure. They weren't. Oscar De La Hoya saying Fury won. He didn't say that. He said in an interview Usyk won. So, there you go. Frank Warren kind of embarrasses himself there. Anyway, I'm waving the scorecards around and literally showing it to everyone he can possibly see. Anyway, thank you all for watching. And also as well, just before I end, it was most likely him or George Warren who, tried to get who got Daniel Dubois into the ring after the fight to start, calling out Usyk and not giving him his moment. That was probably on Frank Warren as well. And but literally embarrassed himself there, for being real. Because let's be real, Dubois wouldn't, probably do that of his own volition, if we're being completely honest. But anyway, it is what it is. Thanks for watching. Speak to you on the next one.